Happy Magical Monday. And there's kind of no more magical Monday than today because we are leading into a very special week with the winter solstice and the new moon. And we're already in a deep portal starting on 12/12. And at this point, the moon is disseminating, which means it's getting darker and darker every single night. And the darkest moon is 3 nights before a new moon. And this particular month, the new moon is on the 23rd. This all kind of does this magical thing. So right now we're in that beginning of that darkest night of the entire year, even because the winter solstice is the darkest night, the longest night of the year. And then you have the new moon being the darkest night of the month. So technically you have this energy of being in the mystery. And I always think of the new moon, the dark moon, as a mystery. And because this is where energy is created. It's actually the still point. We think of things being created through the breath, through the darkness, through the energy of darkness, closure, stopping point, the still point. So this week, and I know it's a busy week, we tend to be very outward and spending time with friends at the holidays and family at the holidays. But I want you to take a moment of inward to be in the energy of creation, to be in the energy of manifestation, to be in seeing in this darkness the return of the light within you. And what has to be released, what has to go away, what has to be let go of, often that is part of the transformation, right? And so this is a good time, a really good time to do that. So today, the 19th, and whether you're watching this on the 20th, or especially if you're watching it on the winter solstice, think about the exhale and the empty presence. So think of it as you're standing at a gate. And what would you have to be empty and present at the same time? What would you have to be to have all your expectations and none at the same time? What would you have to be fully in the now? In this moment, let's release the past, the anxiety of everything that hasn't happened, everything that I've ever has happened, because the past is in the past. So let's let go. Let's energetically put the past in the past, even connecting it to moving it in your brain to like old memory banks and moving out of the forefront, because we create anxiety. We create shoulda, woulda, couldas if we're living in that past moment in our mind. So placing the past in the past energetically, but also being super present. So what would you have to be empty? And that means letting go of the monkey brain, the chatter, the big, beautiful brain, all the things that come in, the saboteur, the undercurrent, all the things that are taking up space, to allow yourself to empty out, to be an empty vessel, to be an empty chalice, and to be rising up. So rising into the new rising sun. So we think of this as empty. We think of this as whole, though, and complete. So imagining that all the rips and tears in your auric field, what little energy leaks are you trying to complete right now? What needs to be finished? What needs to be let go of? What open things do you need to shut down? because you want to be solid and whole. And so just imagine that you are solid and whole. Just bring your spine into alignment and relax your necks and be fully present. And as you are empty and as you are present, imagine that there's a beautiful gate that you're going to be walking through, a portal, because we're going into a portal time, and you're going into the essence of creation. You're going into the stillness, the still point. And that's why we think of this longest night of the year. And it will be, some people are say the 21st into the 22nd, depends on where you are, if it's the 21st going into the 22nd or the 22nd going into the 23rd. But if you think about it as the new moon is actually on the 23rd, we're in the year 2022. So the 21st would be, for me, the beginning of it all, but really the night of the 22nd going into the 23rd is going to be that moment of what have you learned in 2022? What have you mastered? 22 being the number of mastery. What have you connected to and allowed yourself to master? And maybe there's an aha in this moment, in this still point of mastery and allowing and knowing. So literally emerging into the frequency of the one who is in mastery, literally coming into alignment. So what do you need to do here in this moment to come into alignment? And so I'll be sending energy activations out throughout this entire week. I'll be in Egypt, and each day, once a day, I'm going to send an energy activation to all that are watching these videos, connecting to Soul Circle. I am always so grateful for Soul Circle and all of you. So feeling the energy transmission. And so I want you to just take a moment, close your eyes, and feel this transmission today, on the 20th, on the 21st, on the 22nd, and again on the 23rd. Feeling that new beginning of rebirth as the sun comes up on the 23rd, on the 22nd, on the 23rd. As the sun comes up, it is a restoration of the light, and that is a representation of the light within you. That remembering, imagine that light coming in through the palms of your hands. Imagine that light coming in through your mind's eye, in through your crown, through your entire being, your essence. Imagine it coming in and opening your heart. Imagine it coming in and releasing things from your physical body, through your organs, through your muscles, through your cells, through your tissue, through your blood, your bones, your skin. Imagine being activated. So going from empty presence to refilled and restored. What would it feel like to be completely full, completely whole, completely holy, and recognizing that you are a vessel for your soul. You're a vessel for the divine. That was the message here of the returning of the Christ-like energy, the returning of, as we see it, the Magdalene energy, as we see it as the returning, it's been a few years, but Isis several years ago in 2012, 2021, all of these different solstice dates brings back the energy of the feminine divine. We are wanting, however, to be in unification. It isn't taking the masculine divine and overacting it. It isn't taking the feminine divine and replacing the patriarchy. It is finally, once and for all, coming into unity consciousness. So we're asking here for peace on earth. So we're sending into the grid lines of the planet. So I want you to imagine you are a crystal anchoring into the grid line of the planet, the energy of peace, the energy of enlightenment, the energy of love. And within your body, activating the feminine aspects of receptivity, the feminine aspects of nurturing, caring, activating whether you're masculine or feminine, or even feel gender neutral, that you are activating the ability to be balanced in your feminine, releasing the toxic traits of the feminine and releasing the toxic traits of the masculine. And as you do that, activating the masculine within, activating the active principle that is masculine, activating the action principle that is masculine, and seeing these two as unified, like a figure eight, like the symbol of infinite abundance. That you are seeing that active in your heart, you're seeing it active in your mind's eye, you're seeing it throughout the cells of your body. You are whole, you are holy, you are divine, you are crystal clear, and that you're activating your crystalline body. You are upgrading your body at this time to be more healthy, more able to hold higher frequencies, more able to live in the higher dimension as it is your birthright. And that as you do that, you feel more empowered, more inspired, more joyful, more peaceful. And by doing that, we are one by one, 20 by 20, hundreds by hundreds, thousands by thousands, changing the planet. But more importantly, it's changing you. You are being activated to your highest form, your highest frequency, your highest level. And as you are doing that, you're becoming the essence of your indwelling spirit. You are becoming one with the frequency of your truest potential. You're actually connecting to your soul self. And so I always see the solstice, the winter solstice, that time where everything is come to darkness, but there is a renewal of the light. And I just love that it's happening with the new moon, and the new moon being on the 23rd. So we come into this 23rd energy as we enter into the 23rd year. So closing down the energy here of the 22 and of the 6. So this year has had the energy of 22, which is the master number. It's the feminine divine number. And it's all about mastery. And the thing about mastery is you haven't mastered it. If you're in the middle of it, you're the apprentice. So if you've been coming through the apprenticeship, this is the moment of actually mastering your mind, mastering your actions as aligned actions, mastering your beliefs and letting go of old paradigms. At the same time, as we come into the 23 holds the frequency of 5. And as we come into the year as a whole, 2025, that is a 7. So 5 has to do with freedom and 7 has to do with coming into your divinity. So I feel like those two things combined, if you make a sentence, is being free to be your own divine self. So that's what I'm declaring the energy for 2023 as we come into it. So starting out on this new moon, the new moon in Capricorn, right before that sets an intention, sets an energy of we are coming into our divinity. We have mastered a set of tools. And as we move forward, we step in. And so this year is all about stepping in with freedom energy. That means breaking free with everything I see. It's like we're crossing a threshold. The ascension energy is absolutely asking us to live above our old frequency, to let go of things that once we would have held on to with dear life, to release anger for the chance to have peace, Release shame for the chance to have acceptance. Release the shoulda, coulda, wouldas to, to have a chance to be whole and accepted. Except if you can accept yourself in your own mind's eye, and you can radically forgive and accept those things that you cannot change, you will let yourself go. You will find the freedom that will stop poisoning you. The energy of shame and anger and resentment will poison you. It will poison your system. It will create disease, and it will create unhappiness, and it will require you to constantly be moving through chaos. However, if you set things free and you become at peace, that doesn't mean you can't make changes. In fact, it's from a place of peace that you can have the greatest power. So if you're coming from a place of peace and love and acceptance, you can find the greatest powerful bliss points. So stepping into that bliss point, stepping into that power of choice, allowing yourself to really activate your divine nature. That's what this holiday is all about, these few days that we are going to be experiencing. And of course, it depends on what you celebrate. I want you to have a happy holiday, whichever holidays you celebrate, whether you're celebrating Christmas and whether you're celebrating Boxing Day and Passover, whatever holidays you celebrate, I wish you joyous times, and that you may spend time with yourself and spend time with your family and friends and your loved ones. And if you are somehow not with those people, if there is sadness or grief, that you may find peace within your heart. So I send that to you with love. And remember, you will never actually be completely alone, because you are filled with the spirit of all of us as a collective. You are part of the all. And I know that doesn't help sometimes when you're in loss or grief, but remember, you can be at peace and at grief at the same time. That's okay. So you can let go of perfection and actually find the gift in imperfection, and it will bring you a lot of joy and a lot of peace. You're also going to start seeing Mercury in its shadow. So we'll talk about that in next week's video. However, I do want to just pre-warn you and get you prepared. Leave a little early for anything you're doing. Make sure that your travel plans have been checked and rechecked, and you don't go to the airport looking at an AM instead of a PM, or you get gas in your car so that if the gas station's closed on that particular day, that it's never ever closed. So Mercury retrograde is all about pre-preparation and crossing your eyes and catching your misspellings, because sometimes people in Mercury retrograde can do an autocorrect in text and have their entire meaning misconstrued. So try and be careful with what you say. And if you are, my biggest advice for this holiday season is to choose kindness over being right. And that doesn't mean being bullied. Sometimes choosing not to engage at all is the way to not be bullied. And choose for you. Don't do everything that feels like an obligation, and check to see if you are only doing it out of an obligation or guilt. And that may be that choosing for you is the lesson of this particular year and this particular season. So whatever you're doing, I love you. Stay joyful, stay at peace, choose serenity, and choose acceptance, love, and forgiveness. And I think you're going to have an amazing holiday. Sending you love from Egypt and activations every single day this week. I will be back in the United States on the 29th. So every single day that I'm in Egypt, I'm sending you love, healing, and activations from Egypt, special codes. And if you are interested in the spiritual life coaching program, it starts January 13th. So it is time. Maybe that's the best Christmas gift or best holiday gift or New Year's gift you could ever give yourself if you have not taken a theta healing course. I feel like they're game changers, and it might be a good time to do that, or choose a life coaching program, which we do, called Living Magically. It's the one way you can get one-on-one coaching with me. And of course, we're starting our new format of the moon circles starting on January 2nd. We are doing our moon circles on 2 Monday nights a month. There's an extra bonus night in January. So we're going to do a January 2nd new moon activation. It's really a little delay from the 23rd, but we're activating the new year on the 23rd. Not on the 23rd, on the 2nd of January. So if that's something you're interested in, please join me, join our soul circle and our moon circle. And I love you. Live magically.